Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the webinar that I have titled, How Do You Take Charge of You? I'm so excited to have our connection for the next hour. Would you type yes in the chat, which is at the very bottom of your control panel, if you can hear me and you can see my slides? It would also be really lovely if you would put your name and where you're from, your location. It's really fun for me to see where everyone is around the United States. Would you also type into that chat window, what attracted you to the webinar today? Are you a manager? Are you a parent? Are you a team lead? Are you a speaker? Are you just wanting to know how to manage you because you know how it is to be out of place, if you will, in a group or room? So to make this time really valuable for everyone, it would be helpful if we all remove some distractions. I'm actually doing this presentation on a computer. So if you're watching on your computer or you're watching on a tablet, an iPad, something like that, turn off your cell phone. And whatever device you're watching on, it's really helpful if you turn off your social media, anything that has a chime to it. So I'm also going to turn down right now my computer sound, because every once in a while you notice when you're on a computer and something comes through, you get that little ding. I don't want the recording to have dings through it, so I'm turning that off as well. What I've also noticed is that every once in a while we have issues with the slides not showing up appropriately on your side, and that has to do with buffering. And buffering happens, the buffering slows down when there's way too many tabs open. So would you do yourself the kindness, the favor, to only have one browser window open, not stacked, and to just have this tab open? That way you can ensure having all the slides show up. If you happen to be in a room where there's other people, or a home or office where there's other people, ooh, wouldn't it be fun if and delicious if you put up a do not disturb sign so that you can truly have this time for yourself, that you can truly give this hour to yourself, because we want there to be value. Today, you've taken steps forward for you. I value your time. You value your time. So we're specifically going to be talking about strategies that you can take, tools that you can implement that have immediate results in your life, that allow you to take charge of you, to allow you to take charge of your energy field. And why that's important. We're going to be talking about the benefits that happen in your life when you're managing your own energy. Because, it's all about setting boundaries. And one of the questions that I asked at the very beginning of any type of material you saw that I put out about this webinar is, how do you say, yeah, that works for me? Or no, thank you, not interested. And say it without a push, without a shove, without resistance, without drama. How do you say no or yes without getting what I call discombobulated, without losing you during the exchange? So basically, how do you take charge of yourself in situations where other people may have a differing opinion? Maybe they have a different or possible agenda. You see, when you manage you, it affects everyone around you. It affects the room. It affects those that you're in conversation with. Managing you all begins with you managing you. So today I'm going to talk about some opportunities that you can choose to take that allow you to walk away with a proven path that allows you to experience being grounded and balanced, so that you're presenting yourself in that way. What I'd like to do is to have a group agreement. And if you look at your slide, if your screen, we really want everyone to meet at the same place so that we're all in agreement. So if you look at your slide, here's a handshake with yourself wrapped in green. So to make this personal, would you take a moment and just claim out loud, if you will, I'm here for me. I claim this time for myself. And now let's all agree as a group agreement to have our crown chakra, that energy center that's at the top of your head. Let's meet it moss green. Now, if you're asking, how do I do that, Nadine? Kind of reach out into that picture, look for some moss green, and just grab a handful of it and put your hand right on top of your head. Your cells know what to do. Your cells are going to meet at moss green. Everyone on the call will meet at moss green. Now take another breath and open your eyes. Now, are you in agreement with where we just set the energy of the room? And if you are, type yes into the chat. Yes, Nadine, I'm willing to participate fully. I'm willing to participate for myself. Because really, quite honestly, between me and those of you who have chosen to attend today, I do not count. I'm the facilitator. You count. You matter. This webinar is all about you. It's all about you. I promised that today, by the end of our time together, you are going to learn the benefits of your breath, the benefits of what it means to own the center of your head, what it means to own, have, and activate a grounding cord, how important it is to know where your energy field begins and ends, and the amazing power of clearing the inside of your energy field. And when we're done, before we're done, we're going to talk about what happens when you fill in with golden suns. So, I handed you out a action guide. It's very helpful if you have that action guide. Right now, it may not look like much, but by the end of the hour, you're truly going to have a different view. You see, I know you want to feel balanced. You want to sleep at night. You want to have meaningful conversations. You want to be able to walk away from a conversation feeling absolutely uplifted, full, like internally full. Enjoyed. I enjoyed my time and I'm walking away with a smile on my face. I really know that you would really love not having to control every minute or every aspect, right, of every conversation, every relationship all the time. So, what is one thing that you would enjoy experiencing in your life? Would you take a moment and just type that into the chat? I've talked to thousands of people over my career, and all of us have bumped up against what I call pain points or roadblocks that every single one of us bump up against when we don't know how to manage ourselves. So, would you like to explore those with me? I'm going to call these roadblocks, right? Roadblock number one, when we have no bearings. So if we have no bearings, it literally feels like this picture of, trees are blowing, we're off, feeling off kilter, we're scattered, and that leads to overwhelm, right? When we're overwhelmed, another word I absolutely love is, I just feel discombobulated, absolutely discombobulated. And that roadblock, no bearings, leads to another roadblock that says, oh my God, all that noise in my head. It feels like my brains are exploding and I just want that off switch because I can't sleep at night. I can't sleep at night and have deep rest because I'm replaying conversations all the time. I'm living in a, God, I could have said that, would have said that, should have said that. And that leads to another roadblock that says, oh my God, with all that crap running around in my brain, I am so exhausted, right? I'm so exhausted. I'm mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually raw and just exhausted to the bone. And when I'm exhausted to the bone, now I am literally reacting to everything. It's an immediate reaction, it's an immediate response. Already have the solution before we heard the conversation. In fact, most of the time we missed most of the conversation. We didn't hear the other person speak because we're reacting. So, have you ever been to the doctor and they want to look at the reaction of your knee or your elbow, and they take that little hammer and they, hit your patella, and boom, there goes your knee, or boom, they hit your elbow and there goes your funny bone. knee-jerk reaction. And when that happens, that's that next roadblock that we're going to talk about today, where habits completely rule. It's like we're just rinsing and repeating, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And if we're doing that, we are just in this cycle of more exhaustion, more sadness, more depression, more lonely. There's absolutely no forward progress. So let's change all of that. For those of you who attended today, this is a very special thing that at the very end of our presentation, before I sign off, I'm going to teach you one of the most important energy tools that I think everyone should have in their toolbox. It's a tool that allows you to disconnect and separate from any situation, from any person. It's a tool that can be used daily so that you can step forward in your own energy, especially after every single exchange. For those of you who attend today, the other thing that I'm going to gift you is a download of a breathing meditation that focuses on your breath, because we're going to talk about why breathing is so important today. And this breathing meditation is about 7 minutes and allows you to center and align and take a step forward. So that gift will happen at the very, very end for those of you who stick with me to the very end. But before we do that, you might be wondering, hello, who are you? And why are you the one teaching us today? So I'm Nadine. I began my personal journey, or awakening, if you will, in 1994, as I was actually leaving a career as a high school mathematics teacher. I was working with groups of 1 to thousands of students, and in an environment that all kinds of issues, tensions, conflict would show up. But at that time, I did not have energy tools. I was out there trying to figure things out on my own. I was basically falling flat on my face, truly falling flat on my face. Uh, I didn't know where to go. Like, I had no clue what internally things like balance and being capable and elegance. I did not know what that meant. I especially did not know what it felt like, right? I lived in my head, mathematics teacher. I reacted to situations rather than proceeding with choice. And you can imagine that there's all kinds of drama with students and with parents and administrators. And while college teaches technique, no one at that time was teaching about what happens when a speaker or a leader or teacher or parent or whatever is untethered or unmanaged, or not using what I call essential energy tools. And in 2003, I was diagnosed with cervical cancer. And that led me to reach out and ask questions, seek answers. I needed a breakthrough. I needed to learn, how was I creating this imbalance in my own life? So I learned a specific set of strategies and tools that allowed me to own my energy, allowed me to heal myself, allowed me to own how I was presenting myself, how I was affecting other people in the room I was in. I learned how to take that specific tools and strategies and change what was going on internally. Again, healing my life, healing my body from cervical cancer, and allowing me to have a successful career in bodybuilding, in presentations, working with animals. I completely shifted my life. I became a naturopath, which is a natural doctor, owning myself, owning my gifts as a clairvoyant or intuitive. It's got to tell you, in the public school system, especially at that time, saying, hey, I'm clairvoyant and I have this ability to see and know, was just not appreciated. And I ran, I didn't fully step into my power as a master healer for both animals and humans until I graduated with my doctorate. But yes, I have a lot of alphabets behind my name, but really what it means is I have a skill set, gifts that allow me to see and hear and smell and taste and touch so that I can provide my clients, whether they're human or animal, with the largest amount of information so that each of you can take a step forward in your own lives. And every basic or energy tool that I have learned, I share with my clients, again, whether they're animal or human. I teach you tools so that you can become masterful. I really think that becoming masterful is so powerful, because becoming masterful allows us to change how we present ourselves. Becoming masterful allows us to choose how we set up our day. Becoming masterful allows us to create, to participate in, be present in creating meaningful conversations. And when, as you see, as we move through this slideshow, is that when we learn how to manage what is ours to own, only, we're only managing ours, right? We're not trying to manage anybody else's stuff. That is powerful and it is empowering. So, every once in a while, somebody will say, why do you do this, Nadine? Why are you offering all of this to other people? I didn't like it when I was, spinning my tail trying to figure things out. So I really believe in you. I believe that you get to have things be different in your life because all of us want to be with happy people, right? We want to have conversations that flow, right? That are filled with joy and laughter. Wouldn't it be really cool? We're having this conversation and we look up at the clock and go, I don't believe that 6 hours have just gone by. Oh my God, how did that happen? Right? All of us, when we manage our energy, we can be present in the conversation. We look for positive opportunities. We take ownership for our health and well being. And right now, specifically, we are in 2023. One of the biggest things that is coming up to the surface is, we just came through COVID. And if you are not actively taking care of your own health and well being, there is not a line of people on the side of the road saying, let me help you figure it out. Let me help you heal this part of your life. They're not there. We have to take ownership of our own health and well being. The other day, I read something like a meme that came by, and it said, and I had to laugh, it says, I won't be remembered as a woman. That was my word I put in, as a person who kept her mouth shut. So I have this knowledge. I want to share it with you. And I definitely don't want to be that person who didn't share with everyone. So would you take out your action guide? If you're looking at the chat, I actually popped it in the chat as well, so that you can follow along. And take notes if you like. You can also use that action guide when you watch the replay so that you can follow along with notes. But the big question is, how do I go from having no bearings, that first, what do we call it, roadblock? How do I go from literally feeling like the wind is blowing me all over the place, uprooting me? How do I shift from feeling flighty, scattered, off kilter, my word, discombobulated, overwhelmed? Well, the solution to that, right, the pathway to that is to learn how to send our roots down into the center of the earth mother. We call it grounding the body. And the purpose of the grounding cord literally is to siphon off the energy that does not belong to us. So, as a human, we're siphoning off the thoughts and the emotions that do not belong to us. And when we do that, that tree, us, move with flexibility. That's a benefit. We move with flexibility. We bend in ease. When we're grounded, we now have the ability to be present. To be present, right? Have you ever walked in and you're having a conversation with somebody and you can tell by looking in their eyes, they are not right there with you? It's like the lights are on, nobody's home. They're not present. When we're grounded, it allows us, again, to be present, to be stable, right? So that leads us to that next roadblock. So now that I'm stable and I'm present, how do we shift from having that noisy mind where thoughts are all over the place? How do we shut off the noise? That constant conversation that's playing over and over, that looping message. Remember we said that could have said this. I would have said the right thing if I just, thought about it a little bit more. Oh my God, I should have said this because if I had said this, you see that argument? How do we quiet that noise so we can calm down, have the central nervous calm down, right? Have the cortisol levels shrink back down. Well, the solution to that is we learn how to create the center of your head. Now, when we create the center of a head, this is a room that you create, you design, and then you learn how to kick everyone else out of the space. You own it for yourself. So here's just an example. What would it be like if the center of your head was this? Oh my God, you open the door and here's this calm water, and you're seeing like a mountain across from you, and you're putting your feet on the soil, and the sky is clear. Center of your head. Again, you are the one who design it. Mahatma Gandhi said, I will not allow anyone to walk in my mind with dirty feet. And so remember how he said, we learn how to create this center of your head, and we learn how to kick everybody else out. And when we do that, there's benefits. And some of the benefits of clearing out the center of our head, being in the center of our head, is that, okay, I now have found a quietness, a calmness, a serenity, so that now my mind is soothing, and the center of my head becomes a place where my creativity begins. So that leads us now to, all right, well, that's really cool, but that third roadblock, I'm so exhausted. Oops, I'm one too many ahead. Sorry, clicked on the wrong one. Here we go. I'm so exhausted. And that third roadblock to taking charge of our energy is shifting from I have to control it all. And we do that by knowing where the edge of our aura is. And we find the edge of our aura or our bubble or our energy field by using what I call the rose tool. You see, we use a rose because a rose has the highest vibration on the planet Earth. Those of you who study essential oils, or go look for yourself. Look at the cost of like a container of lavender, a container of cypress, a container of lemon, and then look at the price of the same size bottle of Bulgarian rose oil. One will be like $15, the other's going to be $800. So a rose has the highest vibration on this planet, and we use that rose to designate, to delineate the edge of our aura. And our job is to stay on our side of the rose, right? Our side of the rose. So we use the rose as a boundary. Mine, not mine, right? On the edge of that rose. So everything from my heart to the edge of this rose is mine to own. And that rose goes around the body 360 degrees. Mine to own. Anything outside of that field, bubble, aura, not mine. So if I'm inside my field, inside that rose boundary, wow, I can take a breath, right? I can finally take a breath. I can observe what's going on. There's an opportunity to just like, whoa, take a break and observe. And when we observe, we restore balance, right? We're not rushing around, we're restoring balance. And then that allows an opportunity at that moment to make a choice. And we choose, right? We can't say they did it to me, they done me wrong. We choose how we want to take a step forward. There are so many times that we do so much for other people, and we let our boundaries go. And I've talked quite a bit about taking a breath. So because the rose allows us to take a breath, let's now talk about what that breath does, the importance of the breath. So when I take a breath, it brings me into present time, present moment. Right now, take a breath. So let's do it together. Would everyone just take a breath? Nice breath in, blow it out. Present moment. Let's do it again. Take another breath. I'm right here, right now. So if I'm right here, right now, I am not in the past. I'm not leaning back. I'm not in the worry. I'm not in replay. I'm not stuck. but I'm also not wasting my time and energy leaning into the future. And what's that other word? Worry, 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 worry. What if, what if, what if, what if? Getting ahead of ourselves. When we take a breath, we're right here in present time, present moment. And honestly, when I'm working with someone, it's the first thing I'm going to say, hey, well, I hear you running out your story, but let's just stop, take a breath right here, right now. Just take a breath. All right. So when we're able to take that breath and we're behind this rose, right? We're behind this rose. It allows us to now really shift off of that other roadblock we talked about that knee-jerk reaction. Because when I take that rose and I put it around me, so I'm actually going to use the roses and I'm going to create my entire energy field. So I teach you how to put a rose in front, back, left, right, top, bottom. We're building that energy field when we're inside of this field, and that's all we have to do, right? We only have to be inside of our field. That's all we're responsible for. We can observe, right? Again, we come back to that word. We can observe and choose what we want to clean out. We can observe what we want to participate in. We're able to be mindful and diligent. We take ownership for our well being when we're on the inside. So I love this because this picture is so beautiful. We have a bubble on a sunflower. So how beautiful. So I'm only responsible again of what's mine to own. It's a smaller area to manage, right? You can see that much smaller. So it's doable. And I can see, well, here's another sunflower out here, and there's one across the field, but I can choose because it's not mine to own unless I actually take that energy and bring it inside my field, like with a catcher's mat. I can leave it on the outside. Again, I'm observing and I can choose, observe and choose. And when I choose what I want to do, all of a sudden I can begin to trust. And when I begin to trust, I build that confidence and what I call being senior in your own body. And being senior in your body means you're the authority in your own body, right? I'm the one who makes the choice. I can begin my I am statements. I am empowered. I am making progress. I am, you fill in the blank behind you because I am the authority in my body. And that really brings us to our last roadblock where, we shift off of that rinse and repeat, right? The only time we want rinse and repeat to happen is when we learn to fill in with gold suns. So um, gold suns is just really super, super, super powerful. And we're going to talk about in a minute how we fill in with gold suns. But that's how we shift from habits rule. We learn to fill in. I choose the kind of energy I want to fill in with. Henry Ford said, and I know you've heard this statement, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you always got. If we want to do it differently, something's got to change. So when I learn to fill in, I get to choose. Again, I'm at choice. We can say, I want to call all of my wealth and abundance back to me. I want to call my clients to me. I want to call my health and well being back to me. I want to call my self love back to me. And so here's just an example, like maybe I'm calling my wealth back to me in this teal color. I'm calling the flexibility in my knees back in magenta. We learn to fill in with color. We can fill in with sound, but we're choosing, always choosing. We are owning ourselves. We are choosing to be well. We're choosing to stand in well being. We are choosing to step forward empowered, completely empowered. Here's another beautiful saying I found by Susan Weiss Berry that said, with every act of self care, your authentic self gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And that critical part, right? That critical part, that analyzer, that fearful mind gets weaker and weaker. Right? Why? Because if we're acting, we're in the center of our head, we're inside of our field, our active self care is clearing everybody else's crap out. So Susan says, like with every act of self care, it's a powerful declaration that I am on my side. I am on my side. So, we started this whole process today about by asking the question, how do you take charge of you? So, we want you to be able to enjoy those things that we talked about, like being grounded, being stable, being at choice, managing yourself. And you're the only one that can ask that question, right? How do you take charge of you? So I have a person who's been in my life now for quite some time, and I just started asking different questions. And what was life like before you learned how to ground and own yourself, and what are the most important things you've learned, and give me some things. And I asked Krista, what is the most valuable, and she says, man, the ability to just stop. And she says, I have this thing I do with my hand. I just, ooh, she takes her fingers and her thumb, puts them together. It's like, stop what you're saying, stop what you're doing, so she can walk away and she can reset. What is she doing? She's clearing out her energy field. She's filling in with gold suns. It only takes a few minutes. She says, I could come back more quickly, and both the animals and the humans are much more relaxed. I also know she works with, a lot of students, equestrian students. And she says that what she notices with her competitors is that it helps them relax and work with their mounts, with them, with the animals, instead of arguing against them. So, one of the things that you could ask is, how would life change? Like, how would life become balanced if you choose to take on these essential energy tools that we're talking about, right? So these are just some of the benefits that can happen when you own yourself and take charge of your energy field, right? So when you take charge of your energy field, it allows you to choose your experience. It allows you to be in action effectively. I like that. You have the power to be in action effectively in all the areas of your life that matter to you, that are more important to you. And when you're in action effectively, now you have freedom to be at ease, right? You're moving in ease like the tree. You're moving in ease no matter who you're with, where you are, what the circumstance is, because you're in balance, you're in well-being. Your mind is quiet. You have a restored inner sense of balance. There's that body's operating in harmony. The hormones are operating in harmony. That feeling of, again, well-being and being well. And when I'm in well-being and being well, oh my God, I have choice and possibility. And you become the conductor. You observe, then you choose. Right? You say yes when you want to say yes. You say no when you want to say no. Therefore, you're able to create a success and romance and career because you're saying yes to all the new. You've started something new. So we really can look at this as, wow, when I learn how to take charge of my energy field, there really are, let's look at only two choices. Two choices. Choice number one, status quo. Do the same thing you've always done, rinse and repeat, waste more time, right? You could do choice number two. You can learn effective tools. They are available for immediate application, and therefore they have immediate results. Along the way, you get loads of support and encouragement. It's an open door, right? An open door that you walk through. You walk from the dark into the light. When you open the door, you say yes. So I wanted to tell you about, essential energy tools. It's a workshop that I've put together. And the workshop has a private members area. There are 3 powerful sessions, main sessions, and I'm going to talk about what's in each of those sessions in a moment. And then in addition to that, I put in some bonus practice sessions for you. And then I've also added in group Q&A sessions. When you purchase it, it actually looks like this in the store. Tools that allow you what? Balance, being well, and well-being, right? And I love this vibration of purple. So let me just tell you a little bit about what you will experience when you're in each of the sessions. And again, there's a lot more than this, but I just wanted to give you some highlights. In session 1, because these are working sessions. So in session 1, we go back to the breath and we expand on the breath and its main purpose. You will find and create the center of your head. You will bump everybody else out of the center of your head. We discuss the 4 levels of consciousness and why they're important, where you are on your own path of those levels of consciousness. We create and activate your grounding cord, and we use that grounding cord to begin to start releasing what's not you. Remember, the purpose of the grounding cord is to siphon off all of the thoughts, all of the emotions that do not belong to you. You're going to discover the edge of your energy field, and we're going to literally work with that rose, the power of the rose. In session 1, you will begin. We will do a huge piece of clearing your energy field. And then before you leave session 1, we're going to fill in with quite a few full gold suns. Now, it's a working session, right? So I want you to be able to go away and integrate, and then you're going to come back when it's convenient for you. You know, maybe a couple hours later, maybe the next day, you're going to come back for session 2, and we dive in a different direction. We're actually in session 2, we're going into relationship stuff. So we're going to clear out conflict in relationship, misunderstanding in relationship. And then there's a point where I give you free choice. What else would you like to choose to clear out from relationship? And we shift gears a little bit more and we talk about love. And we use 3 different roses to clear out 3 different concepts of love. So one path is, I want to clear out the energy that's inside of me where someone else said to me, I don't love you. Powerful, right? Somebody out there said, I don't love you. You're unworthy of my love. Then we're going to do another rose that says, okay, well, if they told me, then I must believe it myself. And I'm going to use that second rose because I'm going to tell myself I don't love myself. And then we're going to do in the third rose because if they did it to me and I did it to myself, you can pretty much guarantee we did it to someone else. So that third rose that we're going to do is we're going to clear out the energy of where we told someone else, I don't love you. This is a huge, big clearing. In that session, we also look at doubt, self-worth, self-love, and we fill in with self-worth, self-love, balance, happiness. When you're ready, we come back for session 3. And in session 3, I'm going to teach you more. We're going to expand on more power of the rose. So I'm going to teach you how to use a truth or lie rose and where it can be used, how often it can be used. We talk about Saint Germain's violet flame and how to use that in your workspace, your home space, your relationship. We look at more ways that we can use a grounding cord, more ways to use boundary rose, another method to disconnect energetically. All right, so those are those 3 powerful sessions. But like I said, I included some bonus sections for you. What I did is I went, through the years of offering this work, and I found some recordings that just were just in my face. So there's some work on how to clear out lack, how to clear out survival, clearing out being unworthy, invalidation, animosity. What about the shame and blame game, right? We clear out shame and blame. There's a whole piece on how we restore balance to the masculine and feminine aspects of us. The nurturing, the doing, not whether you have a male female body. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the am I doing, masculine, right angles, or am I in flow? Am I nurturing? Am I creating the feminine aspects? And there are also Q&A sessions. I think I offer them twice a month. Those you have to sign up for if you want to participate in them. So just things that you can do there. So let me just share a couple testimonials with you of people who have done this work before you, who have come back to say, wow. And let me just say, these essential energy tools, there is no age limit, right? You can literally teach these to your 2-year-old. You can work with them. Some of the things you're going to have to, and it's all visual. Like I teach these to animals. So here the part I just love, Taylor was doing this when she was in high school, is, I'm able to work in a calm manner in stressful situations. Isn't that cool? Carol says, wow, I have a new confidence and certainty. A new confidence and certainty. How cool is that? Carla knows I worked with her dog over and over and over, and she says, because of these tools, I'm now better equipped to help my dog and myself stay grounded, confident, and stable when, everything's up in the air, right? Everything's up in the air. Leanne said, she's had to be in a hospital. She's had quite a few hospital visits with different people in her life. And she said, these tools, I'm going to put my little cursor down here, have allowed me to detach from the emotion of an event, the sadness of an event, and step into a place of neutrality when dealing with situations that require a non-emotional thinking, non emotional view, right? It allows me to do something without judgment or expectation. A business owner said, I'm a very sensitive person and I don't even drive without using these tools. I don't work without using these tools. So, those are just some things of what other people have said. So maybe you are looking at here and you're going, I can say, wow, this person gets me. So can you say this? Can you relate to this at all? I'm uncomfortable in a room with tension, conflict, arguing. I'm sitting there going, where the hell is the exit? These tools will shift all of that. I've tossed and turned all night with a conversation running endlessly through my brain. It's 3 o'clock in the morning and it could be another sleep, right? That song, the tools will shift out of that. What about this one? I've lost myself in a conversation or decision. Meaning, I walked in with one agenda. Here's what I was going to do. And I literally handed my power, I handed my choice, I handed my authority over to the other person. These tools will shift that. I've walked out of a store, a meeting, a conversation, a movie because I did not feel comfortable. These tools will change that. I have felt exhausted or drained mentally, emotionally, and or physically after a conversation or event. These tools will change that. So I call them the essential. They are essential energy tools. They're not the only energy tools. There's a lot more above and beyond this that I can teach you, but let's get you started. So the essential energy tools I put together as that workshop. Again, this is what it looks like when you make your purchase. So let's just give you a big highlight again of what you're going to get in the workshop. You get those 4 to 8 essential energy tools. You have those 3 working sessions with multiple opportunities to clear, clean, reset. You have those practice sessions that give you more opportunity to clear out. You get group Q&A calls where you can come back together and join together and ask questions in real time live with other people who are in the process of these energy tools. So for those who sign up today, by the end of the day, because I know that when you sign up, there's a process you have to go through on my website. But if you sign up today, I'm going to also throw in 2 meditation albums that I've created. So Home Again is 4 tracks that allow you to find your center and come home to that place within you. Permission is 5 tracks, and this goes so well with the Energy Tools Workshop. Both of them go so, that's why I picked these 2. They go so well with the Energy Tools Workshop because they give you opportunity to clear out chakra 1, 2, and 3, right? Chakra 1, 2, and 3. And these are in MP3 format for easy download. So once I send you the link after you've signed up, you can download them to your computer. And then once they're on your computer, you can upload them to any listening device that you have. I really believe everyone, again, you're at choice, right? You're at choice. There's no push or shove. You truly have got to do this for you, right? This isn't about anybody else. This is about how do you want to live for you? How do you want to honor you? How do you want to choose for you? So my guarantee, so that there's absolutely no risk to you, if you invest in you, I invest in you. If you do all the work, right? All the work, all the sessions, right? And you can honestly say, I had 0 shifts in my life, I'll refund your money. I just will. Um, you should be able to finish that first session within 30 days. I'd really like to see you do all 3 sessions, but within 30 days. But there's absolutely no risk to you to say, yes, I want to do this, right? Now is the time to benefit. Right now is the time to benefit in the Energy Tools Workshop. So in a moment, I'm going to put in a bit.ly link that allows you to go to the purchase. But before I do that, before I put that bit.ly link in, let's just do a recap, right? Just do a recap. So let's talk about the benefits, the results, benefits. When you're grounded, right? When you're grounded, some of the results that you will enjoy in your life is you begin to live your life with stability, with balance, and you move with ease. You dance and move with ease. When you learn to be in the center of your head, the benefits, there is a quietness, there is a serenity, there is a calmness. You can see that you're in within, right? You're within yourself. When you learn this rose, huge benefits. Mine, not mine. Mine, not mine. So if it's inside your rose, mine. If it's outside your rose, not mine, which allows you to restore balance and the big one, choice. And when you're at choice, now you can hugely step forward in choice because you are managing your energy field. And when you manage that 360 degrees around you, again, results, you build confidence, you build trust, you build empowerment, you let your light shine because you are the one who is observing and choosing. And then that last one, the result of filling in with gold suns is you absolutely take ownership of self. You live in well-being. You live your life from the inside out, being well from the inside out. So remember what I told you, earlier, we're in 2023 and being well and self-care is your gift to yourself. It's the one of the most important things you can give to yourself. And here's a statement I found that says your relationship with yourself, sets the tone for every other relationship in your life. So again, I say well-being equals self-care. Well-being equals self-care. But you're not on your own. We're going to do this together. So let me, like right here on the screen, you're going to see the bit.ly link. So it's bit.ly/Energy Tools Workshop. And again, for those of you who sign up while we're on the call, you're going to get those bonus albums at the same time. But I'm going to pop that into the chat as well, the direct link. And again, you're going to be on my magnificentsmind.com website when you click this link. There's a process you have to go through. And again, I'm going to invest in you because you're going to invest in you. So we're within 10 minutes of the end of our call. And I'm going to set a little timer here because I have just learned that once I go off this screen right here, I lose my timer. But what I'd like to do is while we're in this 10 minutes together is I wanted to just answer some questions maybe that have popped through. So one of the questions that came in, Denise asked, can I pay with a different method? So yes, on my website, you can use any kind of credit card you want. You can use PayPal, but I also offer Venmo and Zelle. If you want to use Venmo, it's at Dr. Nadine 111. If you're going to use Zelle, it's my email, drnadine111@gmail.com. But after you make your payment from Zelle or Venmo, we will need to get in touch because you are going to have to go through a registration process. Because the private classroom on my website, you have to, kind of do that before we can go farther. David just asked a question that says, will the Q&As be recorded? So David, I record those sessions, but I only offer those recordings to who was actually on the call that day. That way, not everyone is receiving information because they didn't ask for it, right? We have to ask to receive, ask to receive. So here's just something I want to address. A question just came in, I think it's from Lisa, that says, in addition to the Q&A sessions what other kind of help? Okay, let me paraphrase this. What other kind of help is offered in addition to Q&A sessions? So, okay, I understand your question. So I work privately with people. Private healing session is a 90-minute session. It's a one-on-one session. If you're interested in 90-minute session, let me know, and I'll get you that information to you. So my little thing, I'm going to move off of this just because I want you to have this information. So again, that bit.ly link is in your chat. And here's my choices. What can I do? If I do this today, right? If I do this today, I say I'm really wanting to learn all of those energy tools. I really want to play in the private member area. I want those 3 sessions. I want those 2 albums. For those of you who choose this, awesome. You can also choose nothing. That you're completely at choice to do nothing. So I'm just going to ask you, what would you rather, right? It's always, I'd rather this than that. Would you rather be unsteady? Would you rather experience overwhelm? Would you rather keep looking for that off switch? Would you rather be living in coulda, woulda, shoulda? Or would you rather be empowered, sleeping at night, choosing when you want to engage, right? Maneuvering in balance. Would you really love creating healthy balance, healthy boundaries, right? Healthy boundaries. So, a lot of people say, why now? Why now? Why today? We're in August. Well, again, healthcare costs are obscene. I believe self-care is a must. Your healthcare is self-care. And the energy tools expand your toolbox. It's not all the tools. Again, I can teach you so much more than these, but these are the essential ones. And I said I wouldn't keep my mouth shut, right? That's me. So can you give yourself permission to invest in you? Can you give yourself permission to invest in you? I believe everyone can heal. And specifically, if I can heal, you can heal. These tools have allowed me, Nadine, to know myself. Today I can feel. Today I can embrace and live my life from a place of being happy and elegant and beauty and balance and grace and kindness. I operate with certainty and capableness. I find I'm commanding of my presence. I'm commanding of myself. Today I'm masterful. I continue to be masterful. Again, what's one step you can do for you? Because when you learn these tools that are in the Essential Energy Tools workshop, you shift from giving to everyone else. You learn to do self first. You shift off of that power and control game to permission. You shift off of reacting to observing and choosing. And choosing could be, I'm choosing nothing, right? Choosing could be, I'm choosing nothing. Choosing could be, I'll do part A, not part B through Z. Choosing could be, I'm becoming masterful, because becoming masterful is powerful. Becoming masterful is powerful, right? So let me just see if there was one more question that somebody asked in here. Oh, the question is, how long does it take to work through each session? I believe, if memory serves me correct, that each session is around an hour. So at tops, a session like the practice sessions might go 90 minutes just because we do so much in there, but you can stop them at any time. Again, they're in your private membership area, so you can come back and listen to them over and over and over again, right? So we are almost to the very end. We are within a couple minutes here of our 10-minute wind down. So I said that I wanted to give you a breathing meditation. So let me pop that into the chat right now, the link to the breathing meditation. And I also promised you the most important energy tool I think everyone should have in their toolbox. It's called Making Separations. And you can use this tool daily so that you're walking forward, you're stepping forward in your own energy. So before I teach you this tool, would you acknowledge the person on your left, acknowledge the person on your right, a person in front of you, a person behind you? Would you thank them for showing up for themselves, right? Yo, kudos. Would you thank them for showing up for you? And now, would you just visualize, imagine yourself standing up and taking a step out of that group energy? Would you visualize a connecting line, like a ribbon, between your room and my room? Would you take your non-dominant hand and would you sever that connection, break that connection? Would you push all of my room energy towards me? Would you pull all of your room energy into your heart, bringing you back to you? And would you take another breath? We're going to do this again. Would you specifically look at the connection between your heart and my heart, your heart center, heart chakra, and my heart center, my heart chakra? You as the listener, myself as the presenter. Again, take your non-dominant hand, break that connection. Push my energy back towards me. More importantly, on your side, would you pull your energy to yourself? Pull your energy to yourself. Pull your energy into your heart. Bring you back to you. Integrate you with you. And would you take another breath? And then just breathe your eyes open. I want to thank each of you for your time today. I love who I am in your presence. Thank you for allowing me to not keep my mouth shut. I appreciate it. And for those of you who have taken action and have given yourself permission to work with me to really put your self health, your self care at the top, your health, well being, happiness, success, I'm so excited to work with you. I'll send you an email that so we can take another further step together. But if you didn't commit to working with me today, I truly hope you can walk away with value and that you'll continue to commit taking a breath, to being present in present moment, as we discussed earlier in the workshop, in the webinar, and that you can truly say, I'm on my own side. I'm on my own side. So I saw this one day. I thought it was pretty cool. I want to meet myself from another person's perspective, from another person's point of view, and experience my own energy, because that person's going to reflect back to you the magnificence of who you are. So many, many blessings. My timer is getting ready to pop off. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Namaste.